All right, let's do it. Hello, everybody. It's Fan Mail Mondays again with me, your boy Danny from GameFront, with the Mad Doctor.
ANTL, the Gentle Lentil,
Yeah.
what's up from in the house?
And the Heen and the Hizzy.
Oh, James, how did you bring that down so far?
Wait, that was Bring It Down? I thought I pretty much topped that.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's what the kids say for house, is what I was saying. In the house.
No one said that for 20 years. That's why.
Well, last I checked. So.
I guess the word is uncool. That was uncool.
I think our futures as a improvised rap group are assured. I think we're going to take it by storm. Folks, have we got any announcements?
Before we go, I have an announcement about something that happened close to 20 years ago. Maybe it was like 10 years ago. I won a rap battle. I won the second ever Second City improvised rap battle.
All right, you know you have to going to give us a recital then, if that's the case.
Well, the problem is I pretty much just held a suitcase and shook it around on stage, and I happened to get put together with Lloyd.
Oh my god!
Wait,
I was with Lloyd and
so you weren't actually rapping, so you didn't win the battle.
You didn't win the battle. You just claimed to have won an improvised rap battle.
I was on the winning team. Did I say that?
No, somebody won.
You were a hype man.
You were on stage waving a briefcase. You probably weren't even supposed to be there. Was it the wrong act? Did you just wander on stage?
Well, the funny thing was it was me that booked the show. I booked the show, and I asked Lloyd, and this was before I think I even knew he was in the Epic Rap Battles. And then it was with Zach Sherwin, who used to go by MC Napkins.
Wait, both those guys were on your team?
Yeah, and they let me keep the trophy, which is pretty cool because I booked the show.
That's ridiculous.
If you booked the show, how can you have won it? Isn't that a conflict of interest?
Well, you'd think. Well, when I mean book the show, I knew the people running the show, and they were getting teams to battle each other. And it was the first one was Lauren Flan won the first week, and I don't know how I got hooked up with it, but when I got invited, I asked Lloyd, who was coaching me in Team X, and we got to knock it out of the park.
Also, let me get this straight in my head then. So you claimed to win a rap battle, but actually somebody else won the rap battle. Then you claimed to book the show, but actually it was just you knew the people who booked the show. So apart from waving a briefcase around on stage, what did you bring to the party, James?
The winning team. I brought the winning team together, and we were all in the hizzy at the same time, and it was great.
I feel real sick.
It's problematic. I mean,
it's like, what do you even do with it?
Well, I put it on my resume, and it really hasn't helped as much as I thought.
Not the win. We're talking about you, James. What do we do with you as the it?
Well, I guess that's the only announcement I had.
That 20 years ago you watched two people win a rap battle and you were on stage with them.
It was my team, Morgan. It was my team. I put them together. I was like Iron Man or Nick Fury even.
Right, well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back next week with some... Oh, my God. All right, well, have we got any actual announcements?
It's Thanksgiving this week.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, do we have any special ideas for things to do Thanksgiving related? Is there any Thanksgiving games in the Humble Bundle this month?
Not that I know.
Oh, is there a way that we could set up an anonymous thing, and we could have people could write in things that they wish that they could say to their family at the Thanksgiving dinner table, but that they're going to keep quiet about to keep the peace?
Oh yeah. That's a great idea, a place to let it all out before you sit down at the table.
Yeah, but then you have to anonymously submit it, so you don't get in trouble. Are there any website guys here?
I can probably find one.
Website guys?
I mean, I can't guarantee that we do that, but We can, yeah. I mean, so you just want a form where people can anonymously.
Yeah, I guess we could just do a Google form and you just don't give your email.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, you could do a Google form, but we could do a form. I can do a form. All right,
and you can submit it for just $5.
No, James.
Wait, I thought we were going to monetize this.
We're doing a service for the people, and they get to just like let it out, like whatever they would say. And maybe if we get enough good ones, we make a video where we'll read some.
Where we read them.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so
that
just
sounds
$1.
like a great
it's
idea.
A service.
Yeah, and we follow the same rules as like let's say like a psychologist. So like as long as you're not talking about hurting yourself or others, then it's all fair game.
Fair enough. I have a second announcement. James's 24-hour live stream, which won't stay on Twitch forever because they get rubbed off after 30 days or whatever.
Hey, what?
Wait, that means something different in England?
It gets,
rubbed off, rubbed out.
Yeah,
really.
I understand. In hindsight, that was a poor choice of words. That I'm thinking of like back in the old days when you had VHS tapes, you used to rub
one out,
rub it out whenever you put the tape in, and then you just rub it out. Well,
yeah, exactly. Oh boy. Anyway, you can't upload them to YouTube because you'd either have to do like 12 parts of 2 hours, or you can't do a 24-hour video. It's too long. Anyway, it's going up on GameFront, so the link will be available soon.
Oh, cool.
So you can just click on the download button on the website and download it. So that'll be available shortly.
Ooh, maybe somebody could grab it and like edit it together to have James rapping.
I would love to see that. We'll play it on fan mail next week if someone does that.
Yeah. James, any confessions about the soul trying to escape your green screen?
My soul trying to escape my green screen? I don't know what you mean.
Not
I'm trying
your
to get
soul. It's a different soul. Move your head a little bit to the left.
Okay.
A little bit farther. A little farther.
Which is my left? My left or your left?
It doesn't matter. Either way, it's fine. Just move your head so we can see the center of your green screen.
Stop.
No, that's rotating. Yeah, there it is. That's the little soul that's trying to escape. You see that little dot?
I do.
Like something poking in the center of your green screen.
Oh. It's like the head that comes out from the Freddy Krueger movie in the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, what's funny is that it pokes the back of my head. But I don't complain about it because I'm a professional. It's the corner of the TV. It's the corner of my TV, which is why sometimes I knock it off when I get up.
Oh my goodness.
This setup is it's ridiculous. Like it is actually ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Can you just not live in a shoebox? Like it's.
Hey, we all live in shoeboxes.
There's nothing wrong with living in. Okay, well, or if you are gonna live in a shoebox, can you at least just like organize it in a more sensible way?
I've been thinking about that. Yeah.
We should measure our apartments. I think my apartment is smaller than yours.
But it's probably a pretty close competition.
Yeah. I don't know, because yours is definitely longer, but mine is wider.
Do you put all of the things you need, like for your livelihood, just squashed into one tiny corner, up against the TV that you could easily knock over? Because if you don't, Morgan, you're doing it wrong.
No,
Listen,
I've mounted
it's
my
not
TV
about
up on an arm so that I can pull it out and it can be flush with the bed.
Oh, that's like my dream come true, Morgan.
And then my desk is under the TV. And then my kitchen is all behind me, and then my bed is to the left of me. So in this room is all of my stuff, and then the other room is just a closet with storage.
Can you not wall mount your TV, James?
What was that?
Could you not wall mount your TV?
I don't know. I might be able to. I'd probably have to pay somebody because I have like cement walls.
Oh, yeah. So there's these anchors.
Yeah, I've looked into it, but I don't know how to do it.
Masonry bit.
Just get a masonry
concrete anchors. Yeah, it's actually easier. I mean, I did mine just in sheetrock, and I did not even find a stud.
Actually, mine I think is sheetrock. Is that the same thing as cement?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think mine might be sheetrock. But I've just like when I've tried to put screws into it, it can it like crumbles. It's not like drywall.
Okay, well, drywall and sheetrock are the same thing. But concrete and sheetrock or drywall are not the same thing.
I thought maybe sheetrock was something in between concrete and drywall, because drywall does not feel like sheetrock. It feels like somebody pressed baby powder as tight as they could between two pieces of.
Sheetrock is. It's the same thing.
Well, I didn't know, so yeah, it's not sheetrock. And from now on, can you not call it sheetrock when everybody in the world calls it drywall?
It's the same thing. You said that.
Sheetrock? I said concrete.
No, you said sheetrock. Well, yeah, but no, you said concrete first, but concrete's a different thing. I'm so confused.
Either way, whatever the hell it is, even if it's plaster on sheetrock, which is I think what your problem is, then
you just put roll plugs in.
We can definitely get it mounted.
Yeah,
but the swinging arms are like $60 for a good one.
I tell you what, Mickey B will do it for you, $50.
Really? Do I get it back if the wall falls down?
I don't know. Do I get my $50 editing fee back every time you make a mistake? It's a tough world,
Nope.
But you you take the risk.
I mean, when you get Jackson Pollock to make a painting, you don't point out mistakes. That's the art, and that's kind of the way I approach my editing.
I apologize. I should not question the artiste.
Hill is giving instructions on how to do it, but
drill a hole, shove the wall plug into the hole, then screw the screw into them. I mean, that's a scary thing for me to do, though. I've never done it. I have those wall plugs. I've gone through to that.
No, you don't want those plastic ones. You want the big dogs.
Okay, how did you know it was the plastic one? Are you psychic?
No, it's because that's the one that you would have if you're like trying to hang a picture or whatever.
Yeah.
And you might get like a 50-pound test. So I only got 2 good anchors into mine, but each of them, because of the type of anchor they are 100 pounds each. So it's like 2 is fine. But, 4 would have been nice.
How much
I did it myself. I had the TV and the thing held up, and I was like drilling with the other hand.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. But it worked out.
There you go. Big Morgs, $50.
Yeah, I'll do it for $1,500.
Oh wait,
no, 50. 5.
50,
55. I got 55 on there.
No, do it for 50, and then you lose the decimal point later when he isn't paying attention on the invoice. That's how you do that.
Maybe that's why my shoulder hurts. No, that was a while ago. I've been having terrible shoulder pain. Oh, it won't go away.
Should we do some fan mail?
Nah,
Yeah.
Let's just listen to me complain some more.
No, I think we should listen to some fan mail.
All right, let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, intro. Oh, we don't do the intro anymore. All right, we're doing.
Wait, what do you mean we don't do the intro anymore? I was so prepared.
I don't know.
You weren't at that meeting?
Oh, I'll do it now. There we go. Whee! Look at all the things flying into the hole. Kaboom! GameFront. All right. First up, well, we're going to do Dark Souls' last because we've got to keep people interested. We've got to keep them around for all of this other stuff. But we'll start with Due Process, which was part of the Humble Bundle for November.
Can you believe that James roped me into all of those humble bundle videos?
You gotta admit that was fun. Except for
Wingspan,
it was fun.
Yeah. I did have a good time.
I mean, it seemed to me like you were taking turns in playing them, right?
Yeah. Well, here's this Due Process game I played by myself, and because we didn't play it very long, but I thought that a first-person shooter would be a little difficult for him due to lag. Like action games, not so much. But when we played Lemnis Gate, I felt like it was a real struggle. We could have given it another shot, though, now that your internet's fixed.
Yeah.
But the games that it didn't take, like what I would call Twitch aiming skills, we switched back and forth.
Because it felt like you did.
Twitch reflexes?
Yeah. Twitch reflexes. Sorry, I couldn't quite find the reflex word.
Well, it just felt like you did the cool first-person shooter, and then Morgan played the trashy tight cleanup sim, house flipper, and then you played the cool flight simulator. So then Morgan gets lumbered with the bird card game, which I guess you actually enjoyed.
We actually
No, that
ended
game
up.
was trash.
Yeah, we'll get to
Okay.
it, but we took turns on all of them except for the first two, and that was kind of the joke I went into because I knew that I was going to make him play the cleaning game. But I thought it was going to be more about construction and building stuff. I didn't think it was going to throwing him into like janitor work.
Terrible.
It's shocking. Anyway, Pill wants to share a link for where you can buy some heavy duty wall plugs. I mean, sure, go ahead. Stick them in the
No, let me
Discord
see
actually,
those.
if you probably put them in Discord if anything. But
Hey, Bill
I'm
also
probably going to be too
jumped,
afraid to make any actual serious changes to my walls because I fear my landlords like they're kings of the land.
What are they gonna do? It's not like they ever come in to fix anything.
Well, if they heard that I was drilling into the walls, they'd probably just take all my stuff and throw it out to the road. Because I'm pretty sure in the lease I signed almost 20 years ago, it said no painting the walls, which I've painted many times. That's
But
scary.
you didn't have to redo the lease, so you're on a month to month, right?
I guess you must be right.
Yeah, so that
But
lease doesn't exist.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I did
It's
it
not
when I
gonna
was renting, and like,
yeah,
if your landlord has got better things to worry about, and besides which, when you take it off, you just plaster over the holes, and it's fine. Like, it's not
Yeah,
destructive.
it'll be fine.
Anyway, hello
Wait,
to
Phil, where'd
Leprechaun
you put
Girl
this
who
thing?
got Pill gave oh, he's going to link it in
In the
Discord, I think.
general discussion? I'm
Yeah,
looking for this thing. Oh
yeah.
yeah.
But thanks for gifting the sub, Pill, as well. That's appreciated.
yeah, that's very nice.
What are we looking at? You buy this? Oh my goodness, this is a very weird website. Oh, don't click on the site.
What for wall plugs, or is it for something different?
It's, I think it's international.
Buy mounting Dream Tilt TV wall mount brackets for most 37 to 70 inch TVs. It looks innocent enough to me. Can I not click it? Is it a bad thing?
I think
Well, I have a very
it's
small
European.
TV. My TV is only like probably 27 inches.
Yeah.
It's a monitor.
Oh, I mean, that's not going to fall off the wall.
Okay.
As long as you put the plugs in. Like, it's not going to be that heavy. Like, if it was a big 50-inch boy, then yeah, I mean, you'd probably want strong. Well, as long as you do what Morgan tells you, $50, it'll all be good.
Yeah, James, if you want help doing it, I will come over and help you do it.
Okay.
Because even though you're not allowed to know where Morgan lives, he's allowed to know where you live, so it's all good.
Oh, I
because
need him.
I'm
He's my guardian
trustworthy.
angel.
Yeah, I do whatever James needs. I
You'll-
never need help because
you'll-
I will hold the TV mount up myself and mount it alone.
Before risking me being able to see where his place is. I told him I'd wear a blindfold and he could pick me up from any street corner.
I'm trying to find the types of anchors that I used.
All right, so I'm gonna, as much as I really appreciate all the help with my what would you call it, remodeling of my little cubbyhole here, we should get into due process. The game is multiplayer only, unless somehow in our quickness we overlooked the single player aspect. So we get in, and it's a very, as we decided, it was a tactical game. We decided it was a tactical game, not a strategic game. Right?
Pill, I just posted a link to the ones that I use. They're the steel toggle bolt anchors. They're like super heavy duty. You have to drill a bigger hole, but I just feel like they're a lot more secure. I've used these on like iron doors and stuff before, and they like, you have to tighten them every once in a while because they loosen, but on something that doesn't move like the TV, super good. James, what were we talking about?
Well, I was saying that the game due process, we had decided that it was tactical but not strategic because the levels are all procedurally generated. Right?
Yes.
I don't know. Me and Pill are having a conversation. You keep butting in.
Oh my god!
All right, Dark Page. This
Why
guy
don't you
had no
guys start-
idea he was talking with an expert. I'm guessing someone dropped in at some stage. In fact, I remember
That's
somebody
what I was
dropped in at
trying
some
to get
stage.
to. It's a game where you're supposed to connect with your teammates, and we only played one match, so we only got to really meet one group of people. And the first thing I did when I started the game is I grabbed the two best looking guns from the wall. And the guy that was with me was like, "Oh, really? That's what you're gonna grab?" He's like, you know that there's only one of those for the whole game for the whole team. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so it's probably not a good idea to get killed with the best weapons first.
But the good news is he let me know early on, and no one was toxic. So instead of like reaming me out for it, he just let me know, and he was gonna let me keep it. But I swapped the gun out. I was able to swap it out still, and just take some pistols. I believe is what I ended up with.
Well, that's nice. It's always good when people are good sports about things. There is a lot of negativity these days in the world.
Well, and it was wild because like how like the game hadn't been out that long, but right, it just came out, or has it been out?
You know how early access is. Games can live in early access for years.
Well, it was called early access, but they all had like strats and like knew the areas and like it was pretty wild.
Well, they couldn't have known the area. I think I don't know because we only played one game. But each time you play it, it's supposed to be a level that's never been played before. It's procedurally generated,
But
so you
like
might
the same
know
rooms, like
it's like the same rooms. They probably scatter these kinds of rooms places.
yeah.
Just as an update, Pill likes to use big girthy wall plugs with some glue. Dark Page says the only
Wait. Let's talk about this. Wait, what kind of glue?
No, come on. No.
Wait, you're talking about
this is your fault.
the wide plastic ones, and then what do you glue them for? To like and what kind of glue? Like wood glue to like secure the sheetrock?
No more
Drywall.
nails.
For anybody that doesn't know, that's drywall.
Dark Page, the only one cursing was James. LOL.
I don't remember cursing. It must have been just, the emotions spilling out of me.
And then also Dark Page confirmed Vanguard playthrough. It's not reviewing very well, Vanguard. I don't believe, is it? Or is that?
Here
I
we
don't
go,
know.
James. So the reason I'm calling it sheetrock is because it's like essentially the Kleenex of drywall.
Oh,
Sheetrock
that's
is
the brand?
Yeah.
I think that can we have a vote on whether or not we should use the word girthy anymore? I'm going to vote against it. I feel uncomfortable when I hear the word girthy.
I'm going to vote for it. I like the word girthy.
Oh gosh, of course you would.
Is there any is there any opportunity to move? I know you've got the movie podcast, and that did wonders for fan mail because we spent a lot of fan mail talking about movies, and ever since the podcast started up, things have improved at least 0.3%. So I'm wondering whether you need like a kind of DIY podcast now just to occupy that kind of channel in your life. Maybe
I would do that. Yeah, for sure.
You could be like that guy Tim Allen in Home Improvement,
Or his partner.
Yes.
But what was it? What was the guy's name? He was always my favorite.
You don't remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
It's been a long time.
But he was
since
his
I watched
partner
it.
in that. He was like the smart guy.
I will look it up.
I want to say Bob Vila, but that's who I think he was kind of parodying.
Yeah, Bob Vila is
Parodying?
this old house guy.
The actual guy.
The actor's name was Richard Karn, apparently.
Richard Kind. No.
Karn, Karn, Karn.
God.
God, no. Anyway, we've gone off topic again. Zach is a real boy. 2 brains talking shit. That's not very nice, Zach. That's
Brains talking shit.
Oh,
I don't know what that even means.
I think he's been in a bad mood lately, is our Zach.
It's because we haven't been doing the podcast. But whose fault is that,
Yours, because you keep forgetting about it. Kamikaze Ice. Morgan versus Kid. LOL.
Yeah, sure. Morgan made me tell him to stop whistling, I think it was.
Yeah.
I was enjoying his
like,
whistling.
You were like, please, will you please, young child, stop whistling if you
Well, I wasn't going to
will."
be rude to him. I honestly thought he had kind of good tune. It was catchy.
Sometimes kids need a firm hand, just like, hey kid, cut it out.
Did
I'll
he
come
stop?
over there. Oh.
No. Okay. So that was effective.
yeah. So like, yeah, if it's not effective, then you like, threaten their family or like, I'm
No,
stopping
you
you
don't.
right now.
No, you cannot
wait,
do.
what?
No, you know, no,
You don't do
no,
that?
No,
Oh,
you can't.
my
You
bad.
can't do that.
It's impossible.
Well, no, you can do that.
Or
You just,
I may not.
You may not do that.
Yeah, I think you need the stern talking to, frankly.
I think that we need to hear that phrase a lot more often because people don't keep saying you can't do things. I think we should start really enforcing you may not do that.
Yeah, you can't say can't when you mean may.
Yeah.
No, James, you could have just done it right there. You may not say can't when you mean may. Because you can still say can't, it's just wrong.
Yeah.
So he cannot say may, but he may not say can't.
No, you may not say can't when you mean may.
The stream may never end. It's good. That's a good point, Mowens. We should move on.
Yeah.
Kamikaze Eye says no one was watching this for that stick dong. LOL. I'm not sure what that's a reference to.
I don't know exactly who did it because I'm not that familiar with the controls and stuff, but I believe it was at least possible it was the whistling kid that drew the dick on the like tactical map, because you have a little map and like I guess you can put little points down of like points of interest maybe, but he made it look like a dong.
Do I need to be reviewing these videos for standards and ethics before they go live on this channel? I mean, I don't actually know what's happened here, but it doesn't sound great.
It could have anybody that tries to claim that it's something bad, we could easily just be like, it's obviously Gonzo, because it kind of looks like Gonzo.
Okay. Right. Let's draw a discreet veil over that one. Pelagius, Morgan the Child Slayer, and Heen the Clueless.
Oh, come on.
Is it against ethics and standards to draw a D?
It depends on the context and accuracy of the depiction.
It's not accurate.
It's not.
It is not accurate.
Okay. Harkerman Design says, "What the hell? Everyone was so friendly and courteous? ? Only Morgan being a toxic jerk."
The vegan is nasty.
Yeah. Everyone going in on you there, Morgan.
A kid was annoying.
Simon DG says it looks like a less toxic Rainbow Six Siege. I might sub this month. Ah, there you go.
Yes, that's what I want to hear. I mean, not that they're paying me. I would have to say something, but like that's what these videos are for, is to encourage somebody that might like a game that, this will cost you if you're subbing for 1 month to get all of them, $19.99. Cheaper if you want to just get 3 of them, but it's a good deal.
I just want to point one thing out and we'll get onto this later because I've seen comments on several videos about this.
Very confusing.
It's what's getting very confusing is we are not sponsored by, nor do we make any money off the Humble Bundle in any way.
Then why the way that he advertises it feels like the most forced advertising way possible?
He says, "Hi, I'm James Heaney, and you may recognize me from such videos as..." But so we need to make that clear. Like, we're not selling anything.
It's not clear. It's still not clear. I kind of think that James is taking money on the side for this.
It's potentially possible because, I mean, it does come across that way. I mean...
It's our first second revenue stream, and he's just taking it wholeheartedly to himself. And that's why he's so gung-ho about making the videos, because I've never seen him like so,
if I could turn this into a pyramid scheme, I would. I think as many people...
You're an amoral person. We know that.
I'm just not... It doesn't have to be a pyramid scheme. If I could make it so that everybody was making more money the more they bought, I would love that. All I know is that for the money that you put into the Humble Bundle choice, you walk away with so much more value. It seems like sooner or later they're going to just take it away from us. We got to use it or lose it.
Stop.
Goodness.
I need a way to pull your mind. This is ridiculous. Also, and I'm only saying this to you as a friend, first rule of running a pyramid scheme, don't say you're running a pyramid scheme. That's not how that works. But, I mean, just... Let's move on.
Are we going to have to get rid of our Periods Marketing LLC corporation name and change it to something else? Me and James already started the corporation.
We transfer a lot of money through that corporation, so it's actually kind of more important than you might think, Danny, so we can't close that down.
So, Pyramids Marketing LLC lives on forever.
When this goes to court, I want separate lawyers.
I'm going to rat at you guys all out. Just kidding, I never talk.
And then
I believe that Morgan doesn't talk.
Yeah, I was raised that way.
But if they just sit silently for too long, I'm a danger to the team. Like, don't let me be in the room with them.
James, don't worry. I will never allow you to go to court if my life is on the line. You will not make it to court, I promise.
Thank you.
Is this whole Humble Bundle thing just becoming a bit like Tourette's for you? Like, are you sat in the waiting room of the dentist's office and everyone's just silently reading a magazine?
Well, it's not just you guys.
He just can't help himself. He pipes up out of nowhere.
To my friends. I've lost. I wouldn't say lost friends, but there's friends that don't really click the links I send them anymore because it's always like, oh, I remember you like survival guides. There's a Humble Bundle of a survival, and I'll like send links to people. Anybody that I know that plays video games, I try to get them into it. Not just in YouTube, like people that I come across.
Humble Bundle and either
just
A, get them to pay James, or B, get them to issue a cease and desist.
They need to ban his account or they need to pay him.
But here's the other side of it. This stuff goes to charity. So, like, I'm not making the money. I don't know how they afford this. The money goes to charity. It's not getting split with people. Well, I think that might be more complex than that, but it's not getting split with me.
I actually just want to say that used to be more true than it is. And these days, the percentage that goes to charity isn't that great.
Really? From just Humble Bundle, or are you talking about in the world?
The certainly the Humble Bundle choice that you're promoting very heavily.
Talking hard.
I mean, anyway.
I'll have to look into that. I have kind of had the assumption that it was the same kind of like three-way split, Humble Bundle, developers and charity.
I'm going to check because I don't want to say anything that's not true, but I think it's only a small percentage.
But I think when you're buying the regular bundles, can't you decide where it goes still? I guess lately I have just been keeping it in default when I purchase stuff from them. But it used to be that you'd have these scales of where you wanted your money to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still true for the actual Humble one-off kind of things that they do.
5% of every Humble Choice membership is donated to our featured charity of the month.
Yep. Yeah, 5%. That's a very small amount. So 5% goes to charity, 10% goes to James, and the rest of it goes to Humble Choice.
So, 5%. That's much lower than I was thinking. James, it has to be lower than you were thinking.
That's a lot lower.
It's not a lot, to be honest.
Is that taking the steam out of your sales a little bit?
A little bit.
But they're still paying him, so not that much.
That was always kind of like, that wasn't the reason I liked it. That was the reason I didn't feel guilty about putting money into it. I always loved the games that I got from it, and it also saves me money. Here it comes again.
But James,
we're moving on.
$60 game, the discount itself cuts out.
James, look, I need to be. Look, serious talks. Like, people are getting genuinely confused. Like, you need to rein this in, son, because it's getting really bad.
He hasn't called me son in a long time. Really serious.
Serious talk. Jogdo, can I ask why we don't have an ongoing GameFront multiplayer-only series starring Big Morgs? Just verbally harassing mouth-breathing children online.
I would do that.
It's time to open the bank account and pay this man.
Like a grumpy gaming grandpa just out there yelling at kids on the Halo lawns.
Yeah, this sounds like a great idea.
But
know,
there aren't that many more multiplayer games where there's just open communication like that, right?
the last time it happened was when me and Zach were playing Phasmophobia, and that was on the live stream, and that went badly as well.
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight has open mics also.
Yeah, that game's trash though.
I love that game.
Dead by Daylight is very good.
I do not like it.
What is it about Dead by Daylight that you don't like?
I guess the learning curve. I only played it for like an hour, but I was like, oh,
That's kind of the same problem you had with Phasmophobia, huh?
No, the problem I had with Phasmophobia.
Okay,
is
that's
I
right.
was
You had
getting
your
one frame per hour.
I forgot.
Yeah, you didn't experience that game at its best. To be fair,
Yeah.
if you. Xenolight saw that stream apparently. The Phasmophobia stream where people joined in. That was we don't talk about that. It didn't go well. Shay Swanson says, if you've ever seen the picture of Nick Cage in the Superman costume, that's like James pitching Humble Bundle.
I just don't get it. I maybe what I got to do is I got to reach out to Humble Bundle and say, everybody's accusing me of being paid by you. Would you please pay me so that then I can come forward, say I'm being paid and it's an open thing, or publicly deny that I'm an employee, please. Would that fix it?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. I'll reach out to him. We'll see.
They probably won't reply to you. And, no, I don't know actually, because maybe they will. House Flipper.
We'll see.
House Flipper, the next game on the list. Backseat Gaming Studios. James just invited Morgan to clean his house with a good friend. That's a sweet thing.
Backseat Gaming Studios is saying that his wife bought this game, House Flipper, and played it for 7 hours.
Nice.
Stuff.
I mean, here's the it seems to me. Do you remember when I did that video a couple months ago of the train station renovation?
Yeah.
It feels like this is very similar in that you're just going around painting walls, picking up trash. Is it that kind of thing?
Picking up trash is not what, like, when you look at the logo for this and like it looks like you're going to be using tools to build dressers and like install windows maybe. Like, I don't know.
It should be called Handymander or something.
Yeah.
Handymander.
Yeah. Because it's not about house flipping. House flipping is maybe in the later game it is, but like house flipping is very specifically buying houses, fixing them up, and then selling them for more money.
Like, you'd probably, if in order to be a house flipper, you'd probably have to, and maybe it changes later in the game, have the choice between different shitty houses that you see and be like, what could I turn that into to really make money?
But we were just getting emails going like, oh, come to this place and install a water heater. Okay.
Oh yeah, well that's just literally being a handyman simulator then, yeah.
Yeah, it was just handyman simulator is what it is.
Oh, that's not a good name for it then. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun if it was like a management sim where you had a portfolio of properties and you were buying and selling them, and
that's what I thought we were getting into. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Okay. Having said that, what I was going to say was those kinds of cleaning up simulation things. I can see why people might like them. They're very, they don't require much thought. It's very zen, just clean. It's like some people find cleaning relaxing.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of? I played one map of it, and it was like a demo map, or it was a free version, but it was Visceral Cleaner, I think is what it was called. And you're cleaning up after like first-person shooter games, or like I think the one I played might have been from Samurai Warrior. I think that's the name of the game.
I like the concept of that game.
It was fun. I mean, it was weird. You're like vacuuming blood up and like cleaning up a memorable video game.
So is it like in the Squid Game where they come in afterwards and just start tidying up away all the dead bodies?
Yeah, I guess so. It's Visceral Cleanup Detail is what it's called. And I think like when I first played it, it was like probably early access, or at least early on, and there was only one map that I could play. But I've seen it like advertised to me since then with other games of like, oh, you're cleaning up after, and I'm not going to say which ones because I don't remember, but other games that at the time I recognized.
Dark Page says that was something.
Yeah, it was really neutral.
I mean, you had fun playing it. It was funny. There was some weird stuff in there.
I mean, there was some weird stuff, but it was. I think we were laughing at the game, not with the game.
And that's fun sometimes.
Yeah.
That's my forte, laughing at the game and not with the game. That's kind of what I did with the train station one. I knew when I played it, it wasn't a good game. It was just more of a let's all laugh at the bad game. Yeah. Which is fine from time to time. So there's nothing wrong with that. Kamikaze Ice says 54 seconds. So the game starts in the Heaney Hidey Hole studio. Well,
Yeah, your opening place is disgusting.
Yeah, that place is awful. But I could picture you cleaning that place up, Mark, and it looked like you had a good start on it.
Well, the thing that sucks is you can't just fix it up. You have to like earn money and unlock
To
stuff
get a
for,
mop.
Like,
Like you don't
Yeah.
even start with a mop at the
it's
beginning.
bad. Kamikaze Ice ex-boyfriend stole radiator. Business trip. Sus. Yeah, that was gnarly. There was like a domestic violence plot line.
you know, I used to work in repairs and maintenance for the council. And that kind of thing happens a lot.
Like
People
the boyfriend steals the radiator after a fight.
People will do strange things, like radiators just being well, not even like the whole heating system, the boiler and everything. Just take it all.
This game is from overseas. Maybe this is like coming from experience of the council.
I mean, I'll be honest, I can't.
One where there's like radiators missing.
Oh, I mean, I can't think of any specific examples off the top of my head right now, but there were like so many occasions where people were just doing crazy shit. Like I cannot like. I wish I could think of good examples off the top of my head. It's been a long time since I did that job, but like there was always stories to tell. Like people just doing weird things to houses, taking things, stealing things. I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy world.
I think James is having a personal crisis right now.
What?
People
I don't
putting
know,
TVs on
did you
walls
just go,
when they.
Oh my god!
I didn't say, "Oh my god."
Oh, I thought you got a phone call and went, "Oh my god."
Oh my god! No, I didn't get a phone call, and I didn't say, "Oh my god."
It's like,
Oh, I'm hearing
oh my god! I was
You're
supposed to be
tripping.
on
Did the
stage
phone
10
not
minutes
go
ago.
off? Am I freaking out?
I heard something also. It must be from Danny, or maybe it's in my apartment and I don't hear it.
Maybe.
My phone
I
did
don't hear
ring,
anything.
so I did cancel that. So yeah.
I Kamikaze Ice, that mop motion.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the real question. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Edwin DeFellis. This channel has 153,000 subs. Why don't any of these videos get views? Question mark.
That is a good question. I've never really quite understood it. I guess it's just because people like these must be very old accounts and people don't follow it anymore. Like, or maybe we're buried so deep. I don't get it.
Maybe because we play games like House Flipper.
I mean, that's possible, but you'd think that the more we spread our net, like, what if we found a way that every month we played different games? You'd think that we'd get a big net to bring some people back in to watch something that maybe they don't typically watch.
I mean, yeah, it's funny. You know what it is? I think a lot these days is YouTube likes to push short videos, like anything over, like even over a minute at this point is considered long, and then like an hour.
What?
Is,
We're back?
what?
We're back? When YouTube first started, they were like, they're like any video over 3 minutes and it's gonna get put in put in the can, and then like they were like, we need 10-minute videos, and then they're like, we need long form content, 20 minutes plus, and now they're back to doing less than 1 minute.
Well, there's no restriction on it, but short videos get
That's how
pushed.
the algorithm. Yeah,
The algorithm pushes the short videos. Yeah.
I just watched The Mind Explained on Netflix, and they're talking about how, and this is probably bullshit, I'm just going to repeat something I saw, but human beings have evolved to have a shorter attention span than even goldfish. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but I heard it on TV.
What are you talking about?
That's what they were saying. Is like because of how much we spread our attention out, we aren't able to focus on anything for basically. I think that goldfish have a very short attention span, but like 8 seconds is what is a human being's average attention span. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to like all over the place, but it might be that if you're in a conversation, at least once every 10 seconds, you are thinking about something other than what you're doing. Like maybe you're thinking about your phone, or maybe you're thinking about like, did I turn off the stove? Not that that's what I'm thinking about, but so it doesn't surprise me that YouTube is trying to seize on that part of the human brain. Did you guys stop paying attention while I was saying?
No,
I have to Google everything that you say as you're talking about it to do quality control.
Okay, and what are you finding? Are you searching, do humans have shorter attention span than goldfish?
No, okay, here's how my fact checking works on you. First, I take whatever the thing that you said, and I have to verify that that's what that thing said. Because if I go off on a false premise and like you've misspoke for the Mind Explained show, then I'm already off base. So first, I go fact check what you've said. Then I take the contents of that and apply it to the real world. Like, what is the average attention span of a human? How do they even know what the attention span of a fish is?
Well, I was looking up a piece of. Here's something that people might find interesting. I'll try and get it up on the screen. This was a video. Real? This was a video that I did about 2 years ago, and it's only 4 minutes long, and it was a walkthrough for Red Dead Redemption 2, like Mitch used to do, where you could do a thing and get some free gold or whatever.
In all fairness, I used to do those things too. Look up my
yes, you did.
My Mortal Kombat Infinite Gold coin thing.
I will, but
that was the most hate I ever got in any video.
Yeah, but anyway, point being is, I don't know if people can see this actually because it's off the side of the screen, but 40,000 views, 285 likes, but also 44 dislikes, but that's kind of in proportion, and 123 comments. So, like, it's possible. I guess it's just as long as the algorithm blesses you with the, it's going to show people that you actually made a video.
That's probably right around when Red Dead Redemption came out, right? So it's also that we need to get the games when they come out and make videos that are not just walkthroughs, but actually like poignant, timely videos.
Yeah, no, but what I suppose what I'm saying though is like, there's no way that all of that was organic. Like that was YouTube just going, I'm going to bless you with some algorithm juice, and once it does it, it kind of has a snowball effect, and it just kind of goes. So like for the first maybe like day of that video going out, it was just like every other video we released, but then all of a sudden it was like, here you go, and then it just went. Like it's entirely up to the YouTube gods. Like you don't really get a lot of say in it in a weird way, but the only thing you can do is optimize to like try and make the content that YouTube is going to like, and then hope that it eventually just gives you some some love. But anyway, Gibbon Plays says this game actually looks like fun, a bit like Power Wash Simulator.
Is Power Wash Simulator for cars?
It's for everything.
It's for everything.
I do believe that this game, like these types of games, have a place in gaming. They are just not for me. But like, there are people that just want the like satisfaction of like they get the dopamine drop from like completing a task.
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
You get a small task,
I get that.
You complete it, and you're like, oh, that felt good. And then you get another small task, you complete it, and you're like, oh, that felt good. And like, it's just not for me.
Well,
like,
I'll tell you, I don't really enjoy it, but I do get that dopamine rush when I play a game like Cookie Clicker, which is awful. This is so much better than Cookie Clicker, but like just this like going through the motions and completing tasks, I think is something that people get a dopamine drop from.
Very, very well done, yeah. Drogdor, I always skip these humble choice videos because of the Ponzi-esque vibes James Hillington Heaney was emitting. God. Now with the integrity big voice of the masses Morgs brings, I feel I can watch without trying to walk talk my wife into investing our savings into IGN stock. Ziff
Is
Davis.
this an IGN property? Humble Bundle?
James, you've done no research and
I've done no.
putting
I
your
just
heart
like
and
it.
soul
Okay,
into
I'll start every video from now on saying, "Don't do whatever your heart says." I'm not going to tell you how I feel about this company, and then we'll play the game. How's that?
I think that would be better. Yeah.
Okay, that's how I'll start the videos. I won't, and it'll no longer be me telling you that I'm helping you decide. I'm just going to say somebody's got to report on this.
October 13th, 2017, Humble Bundle announced it had been acquired by IGN Entertainment, a subsidiary of Ziff Davis.
Well, in all fairness, I started this series before that happened.
I mean,
You started it before October 13th, 2017?
Oops, no. I didn't realize there was a year attached to that.
Not this October. Damn it.
This is probably a coincidence, but before Break Media bought GameFront, and it was still called Filefront, it was owned by Ziff Davis. So I don't know if.
What if I said that on my birth certificate, my name says Ziff Davis?
I mean, it's just a bit suspicious, isn't it? That you're now a part owner of a company that used to belong to Ziff Davis, and you're shilling all this Ziff Davis stuff, and it's like there just seems to be a lot of.
Anybody ever seen Ziff Davis and I in the same room?
Well, I mean, that's it. Maybe that mustache is just a stick on. Nobody knows.
These guys make $500 million a year.
Yeah, I think the shilling needs to stop. If I'm going to be honest, that's just.
Okay. I'm going to tell everybody that I'll start the videos with this: is you probably shouldn't get this. Your money's not going to specifically great causes. There's better ways to donate your money. But I'm going to show you some things that may sway your opinion.
Why are you
and then we'll go
like
into
your...
That still sounds like a sales pitch.
Why is it so passionate? Yeah.
It's still... this is a bad choice.
But why?
You should only shamefully get these things, and I'll let you see whether or not you should like to risk shame on your name to get this humble choice.
The only thing that should be happening is I'm going to play this game. I'll tell you if I think it's a good game or a bad game. You make your decisions. You should not be saying I'm going to try and change your mind. It's. Oh. Steve the Ghost says, "Where can I buy this magic broom that cleans anything it touches?" I wish that was
the real question. That's where this sci-fi game really becomes intriguing. Because if I had that, my place would be clean all the time.
It really is a sci-fi game because I was a bit confused as to why the model looks like the arm is like attached backwards. Like, how can you hold a broom like this?
All right,
it's horrific.
We gotta go to Twitch for a second. Crispy AI, just watch you guys playing a 7-year-old game, Dark Souls 2. Crazy that YouTube doesn't push this cutting-edge content that the world is desperate for.
This is true. This is the thing. But having said that, there's a lot of people playing old Dark Souls games on YouTube who do get a lot of algorithm juice and they get a lot of views.
Yeah.
But they've got like the thumbnail, they've got the clickbait thumbnails with the faces on and all that stuff. I don't know. We should do better. Let's move on to Project Wingman.
Oh, yeah.
That was my nickname in high school.
That's my jam.
Not to be confused with Wingspan, which is the next video.
Yeah, I know. It is a little weird.
Me and Zach were thinking about playing a prank on you where we swapped the comments for Wingman and Wingspan, and and we'd see if you'd notice the difference. But
so.
We decided not to. Anyway, Tech for Too Long says, "I'm a flight simmer with the joy throttle pedals." You should come in the Discord. There's a lot of people in our Discord who do all that flight sim stuff with all the gear. This was simple, but I thought fun. Your Sunday afternoon, few hours, why not? Replayability isn't quite there for me, but there's many years of DCS World and Microsoft Flight Sims that I really enjoy. Fun to watch you guys crash into the ocean for no reason. That is, haha.
I liked it, but I needed to play it for like another hour or so that I could get the controls well.
Yeah, it's definitely a simple game, but it was fun. It felt like an old arcadey flight simulator. It was great.
Have you guys ever played Wing Commander?
The
Potentially, it
space game?
sounds.
I haven't played it, so if nobody's played it, then
You just
they
heard the
can't.
words wing and commander together
No,
before?
it's a game I always wanted to play because, like, when Wing Commander 3 came out, I believe it had like full motion video in it, and like I didn't have the ability, I didn't have whatever system it needed, but like when I saw it, it's like, oh, games will never look more realistic. But I think that it was kind of like a space like uh, flight sim game. I was just wondering if it
Yeah,
was any good.
it's one of the oldest titles, I think, still running. Let me see. Let me pull
It's
up some
still
old.
running, Wing Commander.
I think it is.
Wing Commander.
The latest release was Wing Commander Arena in July 25th, 2007. So maybe they've stopped by now.
Yes, well, that was a solid 15 years ago, nearly.
No, it doesn't feel that long.
I mean, it's not, but it is.
Nah, I don't think so. That's probably it's fine.
Sorry to make you feel old.
I feel sick.
Kamikaze Ice says Project Windman, Project Wingman looks like Ace Combat, which is not a bad thing. Can't wait to try it out in VR.
Mm-hmm.
When are you getting the VR headset back out? I mean, I know you haven't got the room for it, but it would be. Maybe
I've
you
got
should
an
give
Oculus.
it. Ooh, you've got. Everyone's got one except for me.
I've got an Oculus also, yeah.
Oh, really? We should be playing. We should be playing some VR games.
I'm totally down.
Yeah.
It would probably be easier because I wouldn't have to be in my little hidey hole.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Erin's workplace, if I'm walking around in the background of her work videos, if they'd like that.
And you know,
I would want to.
the VR headset should live in Sedona when when you're in Sedona, it's VR time. Maybe.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what
We should-
she says.
We should.
That's what she said.
James in VR chat.
I could have like sessions, like non-official, legally not binding, but like therapy sessions for people.
Oh, okay, no.
And
not
like
what-
life building and mentoring,
Yeah,
as long as there is no like legal liability.
You just need to say that you're a life coach. You can't say
A
that you're
life
a
coach.
therapist.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
a
that's
life
what I would
coach.
say. A life coach.
I'm a life
Oh
coach.
man, that's right. I knew some people that were life coaches that were not qualified.
No,
That's because you don't need to be qualified to be a life coach. That's literally what that word means. It means I am not qualified to give you this advice.
Yeah, well, this guy was like really not qualified.
Those who can't do, teach.
Yeah.
Kamikaze Eye says, I like how the boyos ignore the test button in the bottom left, slightly hidden behind the Hino-Vision. Not like it's useful to press the button and see what it does, right? Am I crazy? Who am I kidding? They would just flip the controls. Well, that sounds like a dig at me / depressed feels.
Wait,
He
what
finds a way
does?
to bring it up every week.
Oh, what does test button do?
We will never know because we're moving on.
I guess so. That's sad.
You've gone and broken us down like a small children's toy. And then 1 minute 24. What? I don't know. Shall
I
we have
think
a
that's
look?
when I chose the easy.
Yeah, so you picked easy mode. Yeah,
Uh,
yes,
easy
you did.
Oh, difficulty easy. I thought it was easy controls. My bad.
And then our boy Mad Mikey B
Oh.
throwing some shame down on you. He chose easy. Smack my head.
my head. That's an old one. Oldie but a goodie.
And then we've got Wingspan.
This game was so much better than our video made it out to be.
Was it?
I think so. I really want to buy the card game. I don't think this necessarily needs to be a video game, but I want this card game really bad.
I was going
This
to
seems
say,
like the kind of card game I could play with Erin for hours and hours and hours.
I was going to say, my understanding is this was a real card game, and apparently the real
Yeah.
card game is quite good.
Fun. I
Um,
would imagine that it is, but the digital version of it, the implementation is so slow. Like getting through the tutorial was a goddamn
It would be
nightmare.
so much faster to just read some instructions really quick than to have you go through a 45-minute. Well, actually, probably would have been an hour tutorial. It really was an hour-long tutorial, but you could probably read the instructions to this game in like 15 minutes.
So this kind of answers the first comment, which is who yawned more, James or Morgan?
James.
Oh.
I don't know. I might have yawned more. I don't think I yawned at all, but I might have.
I mean, I'll be honest, I actually just yawned now, but I mean, that's not because of the video.
What was it? I was talking to somebody. I was somebody had said something about being contagious, and then I had
Yes.
typed out that it was like a yawn. And when I was typing yawn, even typing the word made me yawn.
You know,
And it was
I genuinely think that's what's just that. I read Zach's comment, which said yawned in it.
I want to do it. Zach is a real boy. Right trigger, right stick. Sounds like we have an American Danny. Crispy AI, the half-hour thing was going great. Then the most boring game in the world is 50% longer. Thanks for that. But anyway, the shorter videos and Morgan's involvement are good moves. I'm liking this series.
I do
for
too.
the tips.
Thanks. That's
Those are good.
actually that
Those
works
are,
too
yeah.
well, Danny.
Those are good tips.
I'll
Those
delete
are
it.
good.
Again if you want.
Don't delete it. Don't delete it. Don't delete it. Once in a while,
this is a really
it
good
works.
game if you want to fall asleep fast.
Which it is, yeah.
Kamikaze Eye says, James, it's a good game. It's a card game. My brain. Card game? Nope. I just can't enjoy virtual card games. I think that's true. A lot of people don't. I'm like that. If it's a physical, like Monopoly games, I just like it's not as good as real Monopoly. So it's.
Well, here's a card game I played for hours. That's not in, as far as I understand, it's not in real life. I don't know how you'd ever play it, but it's called Cult Simulator, and it's like a fast-paced card game on a board table. But as you play like one card, it'll have a timer, and it'll last for like 60 to 90 seconds, and it'll disappear. That game is probably the best virtual card game I've ever played. Cult
Yeah,
Simulator.
that's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, it's amazing. I wish that you could have that in real life, but there's no way you'd be able to set all these timers up for the cards you're playing.
Yeah. Dark Page seems like a one that Morgan would just play for the hell of it. The only problem, so my problem with Wingspan is if I wanted to play a single player card game, I would go play Slay the Spire. And if I wanted to play multiplayer, I would jump back into Magic. And if I was too much of a baby to play Magic, I would play Hearthstone. So like I don't know where Wingspan fits in. I think that it fits in like James,
like if you're
played
laying
against
in
his
bed
wife.
and you could play this on your phone, that
I would
seems
play
like
Forza.
it would. Oh yeah,
If I was laying in bed, yeah, I would just play Forza.
on your phone.
Wherever I could play it.
Okay. That doesn't seem like the kind of game I could fall asleep to, though.
And why are you shouldn't be trying to fall asleep playing video games. Even though when I played Magic, I used to fall asleep playing multiplayer all the time.
What I do is like if I come back home from a show or I'm doing something active, I like to play video games because otherwise, unless I was with Aaron, I come in and I'm like going 100 miles an hour. And like if I play some like relaxing video game, then I'll usually be able to fall asleep pretty quick.
Dark Page, and they got lo-fi beats in the background. Also, was there a faint police siren in the background, or is that just where I live? That could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Either James's, well, maybe not in my neighborhood.
Oh, your neighborhood doesn't have police going by all the time now.
No police. I live pretty close to a fire station, so sometimes I hear those guys. But no cops down here. James is good at reading. Reading comprehension is a totally different story, though. Can tell words are going in one ear and out the other. However, the tutorial was the worst I have seen in a dog's age. Talk about information overload. Someone tell the devs that complicated games does not equal good game. The other bird card game you played, Ring of Pain, looked better and was way less complex.
I've played that for probably about 10 hours since I love that game. I play it every day, and I keep hoping other people are going to play it because there's like a daily leaderboard, and I go pretty high on the daily leaderboard. I'm like in the top 10s, top 30s, like is somewhere between the top 30 for first attempt. And then after the second attempts and stuff, I'm not quite as good at.
We missed one. Backseat Gaming Studio says, "Good game." I don't know. I liked watching Morgan clean houses.
No, please no more.
We have to pick a response for that one.
Yeah, me too.
This is the heavy hitter. Jogdor, I unsubscribed during this video. Thanks, James Shilley.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna have to fire the adventure bits back up and just make videos for Dogdoor over there.
Oh man, that hurts. That hurts. I don't know. I mean, I will stop making it sound shilly. It's hard because I really love it, and I swear to God,
Wait,
I swear to God, I don't care.
You love sounding shilly, or you love shilly, or you love the product, or what?
I don't know. I will not shill it anymore if that's what it is.
You're lying. You cannot say that if you're not gonna stop doing it.
I'm gonna stop doing it. It hurts to hear people say that about me.
But don't lie to the audience.
Okay, I will stop. I'm not lying anymore.
I'm not going to go as far as to call you son like Danny.
In fact, if you're with me on these, then you can keep me in check. You can make sure if any time I start sounding like I'm starting to shill it, which I didn't know that was a verb. Well, you should be on medication if you're going to be doing videos with me.
Simple.
I was just going to say, if you shill again on one of these videos, it's just going to get cut out, basically. So if you see a lot of impromptu jump cuts in these videos going forwards, you know what's happened.
I love bird watching. Prefer the real life game to the card game, honestly. Yeah. I have a bit of a bird war because my neighbors put a feeder up, and so there's like little songbirds coming and eating out of the feeder, and then there's like a giant bird of prey that's landing on my roof to like try to kill the little birds. And then there's squirrels running around eating everything off the ground.
That's nature.
That's not nature.
So Crispy AI is asking, what is a shill if it's not a verb? Well, I thought a shilling was the verb of one shill being like a currency.
He's lying. He's lying. He's doing a bit. That's a bit.
If you know when a bit is a smaller amount of currency than a shill,
I genuinely.
If I'm lying that easily, then why doesn't everybody know that I'm telling the truth on some things? I won't say what it is.
I mean that isn't what a shill means, but in terms of etymology, there might be something in that which you obviously didn't intend, but.
No, it was intended. It was intended.
Let's have a look.
Oh, here we go. Early 20th century, probably from earlier Shilliber. The frick does Shilliber mean?
It's like silver, but it's fool's gold version of silver.
Really?
Yeah. Until Morgan proves me otherwise.
Oh. Well, we don't have time to look into that.
A shilliber is a shill or someone who poses as a satisfied customer in order to encourage other buyers to participate.
Yeah, so that's yeah. But what? Yeah, so
you're a shill.
Yeah,
you're a shilliber.
So it comes from the word shilliber and not shilling. So there was nothing. Yeah, okay. Moving on. We've got Dark Souls, thank God. All this Humble Bundle stuff we can leave in the rearview mirror.
You're a shilliber.
I am not a shilliber. Do you know how... I can't talk about it. I've been told I can't talk about how much joy some things bring me. But you know when I'm lying because you can tell by the sound of my voice or whatever it is that you can see through. And you know that I'm not a shilliber because that's somebody posing as somebody that enjoys such and such product. Do you think I'm lying when I talk about my joys?
Yes, I always think you're lying. That's my base.
Okay.
Dangerous first. Kamikaze Ice. Morgan, I got that little yellow thing. The internet seems to be slow. No dirt, you're playing from the moon. Well, you're not on the moon today. Where are you today? You look like you're in like Alpha Ceti 6 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm in Halo.
Ah, nice.
There's a little thing popping up there.
Did either of you guys play the new Halo
Infinite?
multiplayer?
Yeah, I've been playing.
Is it good?
The gameplay is really good. They really screwed up the leveling, and the microtransactions are out of control.
Oh,
It's really hard to get anything. I've played maybe 4 sessions, and I'm not even like level 3 yet. Maybe 5 sessions.
oh.
So yeah,
Do you think they're just trying to nerf it so that when the game actually comes out, you're not so maxed level when regular people get it?
what regular people? It's out and it's free.
Well, I think that so it's just the full version of the game. That's it.
No, the
I thought that
multiplayer. Why would you play any other thing than the
Well,
multiplayer?
I was thinking that when the actual game comes out with single player, they're going to expect a brand new batch of people coming in, and if all those people are level 1 and they're having a slow leveling system at all, and there's a whole bunch of people max level already, it might feel discouraging to them. So maybe they're just trying to slow it at first, and they're maybe expecting to.
But it doesn't.
I mean,
do
otherwise it
when
would
you talk
suck.
how
I hate
big.
games that make you grind so hard. It's enough to make me put it down.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
apparently,
interesting.
yeah, apparently there's no official season yet. Like the season 1 won't start till next year, and stuff like that. So there might
But
be
they have
something
a
in
battle
there.
pass. I paid for it.
Yeah, I believe
Well,
so.
they'll take
But
your money.
I mean, well, that's it. I mean, with all these free-to-play multiplayer, it's all about shilling you for microtransactions, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I don't personally mind paying for a battle pass, especially on a free game.
Yeah.
If it's a game that I'm gonna play, at least a couple times a week for the next year or whatever, or like however long the battle pass is, like that feels fine to me. My only criteria is that if you buy a battle pass, you should be able to earn enough credits if you're a hardcore gamer to buy the next one. Like that's how it used to be with Rocket League, and I don't think it's like that anymore.
Well, and the good thing about that is that's how you keep your multiplayer like pool alive, because then the hardcore gamers are going to keep coming back, so you always have servers that people are filling up.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Turns out greed is bad.
Kamikaze Ice says, James, I know if I don't if I don't hit anything on the stick, I guess it goes forward. Can you spot the problem?
I know that I guess it. There's no problem there. I know that my guess will be if I don't hit anything, it's going to go forward. So I don't see a problem. Do you guys?
Yeah. Bacon in the butt.
That's the problem.
Neolite says, this was the saddest way to get through this area, even though you could have just ran to the boss like you did in the previous video. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, I really wonder what happened in those 10 minutes of video they tried to film last time that led to this.
The truth is it was more of the same, except Morgan couldn't control. It was too framey or framey. Yeah. What would you call it? Laggy.
Yeah. What?
There was this commercial I saw that made me really mad, and it's still airing.
Stuff.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know what the company was. It was some sort of internet provider. And there's a girl that's like playing, like kind of YouTubing, or it's got her head in the corner, and she's playing a racing game, and she's winning. And she's like, I'm winning. And then all of a sudden she's next to the finish line, and her thing freezes, and it's like buffering, and like everybody else passes her, and she's like, no, like that's not how it happens. What is more likely to happen is you pass the finish line, and then all of a sudden you realize you got disconnected a while back, or like that you never see yourself freeze at the finish line and watch other people pass you. Or correct me if I'm wrong.
James is the kind of guy that like stands up in an Avengers movie and is like, "Superpowers aren't real," and storms out of there.
Well, here's the truth. Thanos could never have snapped his fingers because metal would never make a snapping sound.
You're reading those junk articles? Come on, James.
I just was doing the physics math. That wasn't a junk article. Some of us know physics.
I read that and I was like, oh, what a stupid thing to have them spend their time on. I'm definitely not going to waste my time reading it. What was the justification?
Because part of the reason you hear the snapping is because of how fast you actually snap faster than your eye blinks, and that's what's making that sound. And it's also the flesh on the flesh, so there's got to have the friction. The metal wouldn't have friction, and it wouldn't have that same speed either.
Okay, here's the argument against it. What if he was pushing so hard because he is Thanos that he could snap metal together?
It would make a clinking sound. It would never snap.
That's a lie.
So, there's been many books throughout the history of physics. A brief history of time by Stephen Hawking, for example. When is the fingers don't sound like metal by James Heaney coming out, and where can I get an advanced copy?
Well, right now we're doing a Kickstarter.
No, this makes me very mad. They're saying that the snapping sound is what triggers the thing, and that was their argument against it?
Yeah. So therefore, the Thanos snap could never have happened. Okay, I agree. That's pretty dumb. But it was interesting to learn about the snapping, the science of a snap. I love stuff like that. I listen to Radio Lab. I listen to Stuff You Should Know, and all I like listening to garbage knowledge.
God damn it! All right, James. Here, the scientist. This is the quote from the scientist who did the experiment that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Explored the role of friction by covering fingers with different materials, including metallic thimbles, and simulate the effects of trying to snap while wearing a metallic gauntlet. So these freaking idiots sat around putting metal on their hands going, oh no, we couldn't have done it! Instead of doing an actual experiment, because Thanos is much stronger than these. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they're probably like, wafy dweebs.
Well,
oh my god!
I mean...
Oh my god!
Wow, I didn't expect you to say that today, to be honest. But I mean, the Dark Genius.
I will say, in my mind, they're classic nerds like from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes,
they can't physically put enough friction, but you can if you were strong enough, you could still snap metal.
Well, I mean, the Dark Genius raises a very good point anyway, which renders all of this mute. It's like the gauntlet gives you the power of a god, so you don't think it would just let you make the snapping sound for dramatic effect anyway?
No. Could God make a boulder that even God couldn't lift? No. Can he make a snapping sound without friction of skin?
What?
Those are two.
Those are not two equal arguments. One is a paradox, and one is just whatever you want to say.
I believe in that. So
what's the physical barrier to that? I mean, couldn't the gauntlet just have a speaker in it that made the clicking sound? It doesn't matter, does it? I mean, God, let's move on.
I hadn't thought about that.
Kamikaze Ice. James is upset about how similar amoral and amoral sounds. What about flower and flower? Or any other?
Oh, this is crazy.
Wait, Kamikaze Ice is
off the rails. Well, first, can we address this comment from Kamikaze Ice? He's saying, I have a problem with amoral and moral because the two words mean the opposite of what it sounds like. Flower and flower are not only spelled different, but they mean one's a cooking ingredient, one is a growing plant. Amoral and immoral would be one of those things is immoral, and one of those things is literally moral. Right? That's the difference.
What? I was so busy disproving the last line of garbage.
Well, you just proved the other one that you got 8 seconds of attention span, Morgan. You don't have it even what a goldfish.
No, I was still focused on the original thing. You moved on. Your attention span was not long enough to let it play out.
Well, it might have been my fault. I thought we'd move on to the other. There's a lot of this going on where James is just bringing up issues with sounds of things, and amoral and amoral. So, for context, you're trying to say amoral is in this is amoral about.
Here's the context. Morgan accused me of being amoral.
Yeah, okay, we've established that. Okay, cool.
And I didn't
accuse you. I pointed out that you are amoral.
Yeah, like I say, we've established that he is.
There's a difference. One is an accusation. One is a fact.
Yeah. Is it amoral, for example, to shill Humble Bundle for a kickback every month?
If I was getting a kickback, yeah, that would be well. I guess if I was
No, the
being
kickback
honest
is-
and said I was getting a kickback, it wouldn't be immoral.
Yeah.
But if I was to say I believe in telling people outright whether or not I'm making about something, and that is something I find to be amoral, being transparent. But if I was going to be amoral, I could also be saying that I plan to throw all my morals away and be a bad guy. You see the problem? To have a moral that you follow, and to
But
be
that's not
amoral.
you can have amoral, but you follow morals or
Yeah, but each one of the morals you follow is amoral. I mean, you guys just want to disagree with me, and I feel like you're being amoral right now.
So I get
know what
it.
that word was.
So you're trying to say, if you say something is amoral, it could either be immoral or it could be amoral that I might want to sort of use in my daily life, and you're confused about which one I'm referring to.
I like the word immoral because I'm not immoral. I guess could be like thinking like maybe you pronounce the word I'm as im, but amoral and amoral mean the opposite things. Immoral sounds different enough from moral that I'm okay with that. So, and we already have immoral. Why do we need the extra word amoral?
Well, anyway,
All right, let me give you the definition. So the definition of immoral is not conforming to accepted standards of morality. And you are amoral, which is lacking a moral sense, unconcerned with the rightness or wrongness of something, which is why I use the word amoral to describe you and not the word immoral.
Okay, well, I went. I don't know what to tell you. I guess you're right on this one, but there's a lot of things I've been right about, and nobody gave me a trophy, so I'm not giving you one this time.
I don't want a trophy. I just want to move on.
Mowen says flammable and inflammable both mean the same thing. I don't think.
Yeah, that is true. And that upsets me. Those are the kinds of things I don't like. Now, flour and flour, I'm totally fine with that.
I actually, when inflammable means it can catch fire, and not what it's.
They
Both
do.
mean the exact same thing.
I mean, I agree with that one. That one's not. That's I don't like
well,
that one.
same feeling you have when you hear that knowledge is how I feel when I hear amoral and amoral mean the same, completely different things.
Yeah, well, anyway, now we're getting into the meat and gravy of this video, which is not not Dark Souls, but
everybody buckle up.
Using Heaney logic against him. Remember the vehicles who had their tires slashed? What if one vehicle belonged to a mass shooter, but because their tires were slashed by someone, the person's gave up and now has a life of peace? My head hurts just trying to think like that.
That's why the argument is so bad about like the single mother or the whatever
all I'm saying is you can't think the good guy in that story. Danny, did you hear the story?
Yes, I heard the story.
Guy slashes 20 tires in the building that I've parked my car at.
Yep.
And Morgan says the good guy is the tire slasher. And I'm like, well,
good guy and bad guy. I said that his action was probably more effective than anything else anyone could have done that day, and nobody got physically hurt.
Well, what if somebody got in their car, didn't know that their tire was slashed, pulled out because they think they have the speed for it, but because that back tire pushes them a different way, gets into a car accident.
Oh, but that didn't happen.
And in it, there's a whole bunch of...
We could have a million what ifs. That's why you can't argue like what ifs.
Well, I mean, I just don't think it's... I never am going to think it's a good idea to slash a bunch of tires. I'm sorry.
I effective to his goal.
Well, I don't want to get involved in this conversation. But I would say
here you are, Danny.
I would say with anything like this, everything should be measurable. So, for example, did the amount of say for example, like him slashing these 20 tires got everybody talking about how they should, be more eco-friendly and take the bus to work or whatever. has the carbon offset from that action replaced the fact that 20 people now have to buy 4 tires each, and all of the,
Yeah.
fossil fuels that went into making that happen?
So, James, what Danny has done is constructed a viable argument against my point.
That's what I was trying to say.
No, you were trying to say that.
That he said it in much better words. Sure.
No, you were trying to appeal to the emotional idea of this fake single mother who had a baby and couldn't get it somewhere in the car. That's what your argument was.
Okay, well, in my story, that baby died. Okay, the baby didn't get where.
It's a story.
Sorry, the baby died. The baby died. Sorry. What happened when the baby died? How did the baby die?
Well, the mom was choking on a lollipop that it had gotten from a candy store, and she thought she could call 911, but there wasn't enough time. She had to get in her car and race to the nearest ER. I mean, this is theoretical, obviously. And because
it was
the tires
quicker,
were slashed, that baby didn't get to the hospital.
It was quicker to run to the car than press the words 911 on the mobile telephone.
They were just feet away from the car when the choking began, and the mom knew that she had to act fast.
So she witnessed the guy slashing the tires then, because she only got feet away from the car, or.
Oh no! She got feet away from the car, but those cars were still there when it was
pulling
slashed.
you down into the dark place. Don't let him do it.
Kamikaze Eyes, 29 minutes and 16 seconds, and I'm not sure what that emoji means. Does anyone have a clue on that one?
Oh yeah, it is praise the sun.
Praise the sun. All right, let's have a look. Oh, you died. Bye-bye.
Praise the sun.
Praise the sun.
Now that's...
Mountains 1984 has some actual good advice here. He says, I've always heard you only slash 3 tires because if you slash all 4, their insurance pays for it. So that's good advice.
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is that if that on my Forester I have full coverage, so I actually looked into it. My insurance would have covered it. But on the Mini Cooper that we have, it's just whatever the minimal insurance that you have to buy is. So if they slashed those tires, it would not have been covered.
Yeah.
And the parking structure, when you drive in and fine print says they're not liable for anything.
Yeah. Well, they'd be getting sued all the time because people get robbed in those people, but the cars get robbed all the time in those parking structures.
Kamikaze Eye says that bumper sick emoji, sick emoji, sick emoji, shit emoji.
Oh wow!
I don't know if you saw it, but I edited it in such a way that I took James's conversation about his new nubs on his controller out of context.
Oh, nice!
Therefore, the beginning of the video sounds like it could be about any number of things. But anyway, I thought that was funny.
That's awesome.
I do silly things like that sometimes when I'm bored. Kamikaze Ice, I didn't eat sit. Said no 24 hours Dark Souls streamer ever. But tish.
Yeah, I had basically I had escaped death, got back to the bonfire, and then immediately I got back to the bonfire by using the feather. But unless you sit, you don't get your health back, you don't get your anything back, and I raced forward. It was a bad choice. But Morgan had gotten me really worked up. I was upset about... I thought I was going to go to my friend, tell him a story of almost me getting a pity party. And instead, he was praising the guy that did it.
Okay, we've got to the crux of the issue now. So...
Oh, this is tough.
You wanted pity because because someone could have slashed your tires but didn't. But you wanted pity anyway. So when you didn't get that pity, that's why you're now defending. So that was what your argument was based on. Give pity to the people who did have their tires slashed, because then you have to give me pity because I could have. Okay,
this could have been me. Like communication tool for all of our relationships. James is always thinking in emotions.
That's probably true.
And you want to become a life coach.
Mm-hmm. The emotional life coach.
Maybe Nady and I might be thinking more like logical streams of thought.
Simon DG says Iron Passage sucks, and
No
the
self-esteem.
bosses literally just a copy of another boss, not blue. But please, guys, just leave and go finish the good content in this DLC. It's clear that neither of you is enjoying this area, and you're not even supposed to do it with a solo character anyway. Each of the DLCs has this co-op area. What? Oh, the one in the previous DLC, Cave of the Dead, you guys missed, thankfully. And in the next DLC, the co-op area will be called Frigid Outskirts. So if you guys happen to wander in there, also just turn back. Otherwise, I'm afraid this playthrough is going to be at least 50 unfun episodes longer. What do you think about that?
It's time to give up on that area, I think.
Do you think so? I think that might be right, but we're so close now. We've invested so much time. It's got to be this video that we beat it. We've cleared the path to the boss.
Unless you can find a way to play those co-op areas as co-op instead of past the controller.
Oh my god! How long would it take, do you think, for you to make a second? Well, I guess I could do it. Well, no, because it's on my account. How long would it take you to make a Dark Souls 2 character that could join a co-op run? Would that not be a great way to end this Dark Souls 2 run?
That would be fun, but we can't co-op all areas, right?
No, but what we can do is just do an episode or two where you and I try to crush it as fast as we can, and get that character leveled up enough that it could join the Zach Dant is who we are, I believe is the name of the character, and then we beat the co-op areas together.
Yep.
That sounds awesome. Sounds like a lot more work for getting the second character up, but it should be pretty easy to like level the first part.
Yeah, it should only take me a couple hours.
You could live stream the
Oh yeah,
getting up the other character, I guess.
Yeah.
People miss your morning live streams, just saying.
Yeah. I am close to being able to do them again. I just don't want to start them when I can't do it consistently, do a stutter start. But I should be settling down in my thing, especially through the holidays. I should be able to, work will slow down and whatnot.
The amazing
Alright.
Jace.
I'm downloading DS2 right now.
would you like make sure that it's Scholar of the First Sin?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Cool. Would you like me to read it? I know I was a little rough on the last one.
We don't need to read this whole thing.
I haven't read it yet
already.
I-
You
I-
haven't read it? Go ahead.
I'd like to throw my. Did you want to read it, Danny?
We could take a paragraph each, I was going to say.
Okay, let's do it.
That's always a fun thing to say, one paragraph each. Thanks, Jason.
I'll start the first one since I already did. I'd like to throw my hat in the ring and speak up as a member of the opposition party here, I guess. I'd like to see them beat all the bosses like they said they would back at the start. They did say that in this playthrough of Dark Souls DKS 2, is that right? Yeah. What's the K? Oh, it's just, okay. Anyways, and even though it's unpopular in some circles, I hope they go back and clean up the loose ends with the bosses that they skipped in the first DLC, or boss. To be completely honest, if they don't kill him, I'm afraid it will set a precedence for skipping bosses, and that the next thing the unruly mob will be asking for is that they skip the Dark Lurker fight too. Frowny face, frowny face.
Danny?
Oh, yeah. I know that From Software wanted to sell more
Seconds, I'm telling you that the attention span of a human being is shorter than people think.
Smooth.
Yeah, that article said that it was 8 seconds, and a Goldfish has a 9-second span.
Sorry. I know that From Software wanted to sell more DLC, so they made one boss area in each of the DLCs possible to summon people even if they didn't have the DLC. But I've never thought that meant that the area was necessarily meant for co-op. Certainly in my first playthroughs, I never summoned another human. The fight gets too tedious. I'd rather they summon the NPC summons FromSoft put in those areas and still beat the bosses rather than skip them. This episode was pretty weird because they didn't even fight the Smelter Demon once, and I agree he is the least interesting of all of the DLC bosses.
Okay, if I am more optimistic about the remaining episodes in this series than you, I think it must be that I view having Morgan in this playthrough as sort of an insurance policy, that they won't get stuck in any one place for too long, except maybe Fume Night. Unless they keep taking several weeks off between episodes, like they did this time. Morgan, would you like to take Simon's?
No, I'm good. I'm still fighting in the comments.
Simon DG says, I understand your point, and it would be nice if they killed all the bosses, but they couldn't keep these sections for last. They could keep these sections for last, because after they finish the good content and have their King's Crown, so that hollowing isn't an issue anymore. It's clear that they are not really enjoying this, and to be honest, it's just not fun to watch either. Yeah, maybe the area wasn't specifically meant for co-op, but it was definitely designed with co-op in mind and balanced towards more than one player. I'm just a little worried that if they have to spend another few weeks in this place dying over and over with no progress, they could get burned out. And then Jay's just follows up with I just want to double check something, because I think Jay said he's updated this comment, which I just want to make sure that I've got the full thing. No, okay. Yeah, I like the idea of waiting until they have the King's Crown to finish these sections. That's a great idea. And finally, I think the idea of waiting until after they get the King's Crown before tackling each DLC's challenge area plus boss is a great idea. There you go. Lots of different ideas.
So just so that I'm understanding this right, the only thing we have left to do is to defeat the king to get his crown, right? And then, so we could theoretically do that today. And then it would buy us some time for us to get that second player ready so that Morgan and I could play those DLC areas together. Morgan, does that sound correct?
But also, if you have the
fighting people, I don't know what to tell you.
In what comment section?
I'm still fighting the Thanos thing in the YouTube's comment section.
Oh, that's funny. You gotta let it go.
Well, I think what they're trying to say as well is that if you defeat the king, you've got the crown, so then you don't become hollow anymore. So then
Which I did not know.
Yeah, so then when you're doing these co-op areas, you could just summon an NPC or something like that instead of, having a human co-op. You could do that as well.
Uh-oh. So no, to get the crowns they're talking about, you have to clear all 3 end bosses of each DLC and kill Vendrick to get access to his memories. Oh, so we cannot do that, is what the Dark Genius is saying.
Well, you can do it, it's just that's what you have to do.
Yeah, well, but then we can't go back and beat it because those bosses will be beaten already because we got those bosses beaten to get the...
Well, no, I think the area you're doing is optional, isn't it?
Oh, just the end bosses, so you probably don't have to do those options. You're right, Danny. I was wrong. I read that incorrectly.
So, yeah, I'm glad one of us understands Dark Souls. Cause...
Yeah, you're totally right. Well, when they were saying 3 end bosses, the traditional set of my mind meant we had to go through all 3 pieces, but you're right. This is optional. We don't have to.
Kamikaze says, Babahini, I gotta smash all these life gems because I can't dodge an arrow to the knee.
Yes, I was smashing a lot of life gems.
Also, Kamikaze says, James deserves a Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin 24-hour stream for his stellar performance this day.
So for F's sake, if you want to do the smelly cheese way, then at least get the Dragon Rider bow. Or max out this piece of crap you have now. I'm surprisingly with James on the tires. Messing with cars and other property, in my opinion, is shitting on people's time and effort they put and earn into them. And if you don't care about people's labor, you're just an a-hole, not an activist. Especially if you try to make the owner of said property or insurance company the bad guys. Well, there we are. Pelagius and I have landed on the same page on something.
I'm staying out of it. Spartan 31590 says, so on the topic of the guy who oh god,
okay, here we go.
The tires 20 times. I'll do it. I guess I can understand, but it really does depend on whose tires got slashed. I hope he picked at the very least the best cars in the lot. Also, James jumps from nonsense justifications back and forth, single mums, then vegan convention, then single mums again, and then off about naughty pigs. Get this man in the debate club, his strategy is flawless, at least to James. Also, the single mum fascination is really giving off stranger danger vibes. Just
Yeah, it's weird.
I was just trying to find out, like, who can we all agree doesn't deserve to have more crap in their life? And that's like the type of person that I'm thinking, like, nobody can want that person to come upon a car with slashed tires. Now, if you're like, oh, like a lawyer that represents, corporations comes to his Tesla and the tires are slashed, I'm not going to shed a tear about it. Do I think that person deserved it? Probably not. But I'm not going to really care that much. But
These
this
are
person
all
indiscriminately.
arguments.
Yeah, I'm an emotional guy. That's how I experience the world. It's not just.
I know.
I experience the world with feelings.
If you're debating someone and you're only trying to appeal to their emotional state, you're not dealing with like.
Well, I guess if you're dealing with a sociopath like you that has no feelings, you don't care about.
Wow.
I knew this would happen.
But I'm not going to try to appeal to your emotions to get you to see the point of why something is good or bad.
Well, I guess if you ever want to get me to realize why something's bad, all you have to do is play my emotions. And if you can get me emotionally invested in your point of view, you've got me on your side.
Mm.
He's taking note.
El Scorcho, what Morgan talked about at 2:30 about James playing better on his own versus with a coach is something I've noticed for years. He leans on his coaches too much and becomes distracted by them. He plays much better when he's on his own, when he can't constantly ask, which way should I go, what weapon should I use, etc. Yes, agreed. I bet you 100% James has the same problem with me when driving a car. I'm efficient and quick whenever I'm driving solo, but as soon as I have a passenger in there, I'm conversing with them and missing all my turns. I always drive on the slow side, so I'm never getting into crashes, but a part of my brain just shuts off when I have a co-pilot in life. It drives my wife crazy how I can never seem to function as a competent driver when she rides with me, yet I seem to do just fine on my own. Morgan must feel the same.
I relate to that so much, Amazing Jace.
I'm your upset wife.
Yep.
El Scorcho, Morgan defending eco-terrorism doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah,
it's on brand.
Dark Genius, did you guys seriously decide the best way to do this was to go the boring route and depopulate the upper path? That literally defeats the point of taking the fast path. You're supposed to run through them all before the gate closes. If you guys were gonna fall this hard, you should have just started summoning and experienced the co-op areas. I think we're going to do the co-op thing.
Where you get the second character?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, we're going to have to do it. Amazing Jays, wow, I got to say that, guys, the last 15 minutes of this video had me laugh out loud more than a few times. Bravo. Ralph Murphy, you sadist.
And then
Ralph Murphy. So the answer to too many cars is to indiscriminately slash tires. What kind of commie is Morgan?
I don't even think that falls under communism, unless you're giving out equal slashes to everyone's tires.
I don't necessarily agree that he should have done that, but is there a more effective way that he could have stopped 20 cars from being on the road that day?
I guess maybe going into people's. I know. I mean, there's probably. I would say maybe stealing people's keys. Like anytime you get a chance, just run by, take their keys so they can't drive.
Oh, that's an interesting. Yeah.
And then those people, but then they have to. Keys are pretty expensive too. I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe getting a job in green energy and trying to make the change in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the real answer is to just stop using oil whenever possible. But the way that everything's set up, like, even though it's on its way out, it's going to be another 50 or 100 years before oil production gets down to a level that's acceptable to not kill the planet.
Oh yeah, but
So-
I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure it's too late. And I know that that's something that if you asked me 10 years ago, I would have said that's the problem, is thinking it's too late. But then 10 more years went by and we've gotten worse. And I don't picture us being able to turn around. I think we really need to work on what is those plants that like eat the carbon in the air? What is that called? The carbon, like they've built a couple of them. We just need to scale that up massively.
To build like carbon sinks.
Is that what they're called? They basically are a machine tree where they're taking this carbon and they're pumping out oxygen. I forget what they're called.
Not very efficient.
I mean, not yet, but you keep making it more and more efficient by working harder at it, investing both time, energy, and
I guess
the takeaway that I want is that, like, from that argument, I don't believe it is on the individual person's fault, and I don't think individually people should be punished for using the mechanisms that make their life easier. There needs to be a larger scale thing done. That being said, it's pretty funny and efficient that you slashed all those tires.
You are amoral.
No, I do follow a moral code. I am immoral, for sure. I do not follow the standardized moral system.
I have to admit, when you were making that argument, James, I thought steam was going to come out of your ears for a second there. Anyway, let's kick off. Let's kick off this week's Danny Souls with
sick.
This is because the first comment is Pelagius. Still waiting for that picture, Zach. During this episode, Zach drew a picture of Pelagius.
That's pretty good.
He does have those.
I don't know how accurate it is, but it's a good picture.
It's so I just thought I'd share it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. So this is Zach.
Is that Zach's signature at this side there?
That is indeed.
Yeah, that's how he signs his checks.
So this is an original Zach. It's called Pelagius on the Beach.
I love it.
Notice the Mickey Mouse ears, the Superman logo, but it's quite faint on the Speedo there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a 6-pack or if that's a 4-pack, but he is cut.
Yeah, you've been working.
He's looking good
for sure.
Yeah, he's wearing oven gloves for some reason. It's almost also interesting the way he looks like he's been shot. Like, that's not a natural way to lie down on the beach.
Yeah, it doesn't look relaxed. That looks like rigor mortis.
Yeah, because look, his leg is floating above his other leg. Like, you know how hard it would be to hold your leg up like that?
So there's a few things that could be tweaked for. Generally speaking, it's a 10 out of 10 for effort. So there we go. That was Zach's artwork from last week. Crispy AI says, "Is your honor satisfied?" Pill is great. Oh yeah, we had Pill was on the show. That's kind of why that came around.
Fun.
It's because everyone kept mithering me to do it, and now everybody wants to have a turn, and I'm like, I've opened a can of worms here. So, I don't know if we'll do it again, but anyway,
everyone's enjoying it. Everyone really likes it, so I'm definitely going to stop it from happening.
Well, the problem is it's hard to let everybody do that.
Yeah, I'd say you'd have to be like, if we were going to do it again, it's going to be like, I don't know, you'd have to be on the top tier of page, which Jays and Pill both are, I think, ironic, coincidentally. So kind of how that works. Yeah. But anyway, welcome to the Guest Host Club, Pelagius. You were great in this. Zach is a real boy. Says never unclench until you see victory achieved.
Oh, that must be what he's doing in that picture. He's clenching, which keeps his other leg up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's also how you work your core without having to go to the gym. Just make sure you always clench everything.
I should probably explain, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it. I defeated Ornstein and Smough in this episode.
Hey.
I was proud.
Which order did you beat them in?
I beat Mr. Smough first, and then... No, I beat Mr. Ornstein first, and then I beat Big Boy Smough. Yeah. I did it.
You gotta admit, you felt like $1 million after you beat him, right?
Yeah.
It was good once I'd beaten them. but it was a long road to get there. That was the only
But
issue.
now the rest of the game should be pretty easy for you. I wouldn't say easy, but you're not going to run into anything like that until you play a different Dark Souls game.
Spoiler alert.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's going to be true.
Have you gone to the Painted World yet?
Well, not in this episode.
the Painted World.
So,
But that's
tune,
DLC.
tune in next time. Yeah.
So that's where they head next.
Not
Okay,
necessarily.
well, there might be some other difficult stuff, but not in the core game.
We may have recorded more than one in advance, so I don't. Yeah, see, I can't do this without giving spoilers away. Dangerous 87, live by the crotch, die by the crotch. That's true.
Well,
I found it was very
everyone
effective.
knows all of the things that you're gonna do. There isn't anyone that doesn't know
the
which
game.
levels you're gonna go to and stuff. But yeah, it's not
but
like you're.
they don't
revealing the
know
game.
how effectively I'm going to do it, I guess, or in which order.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. People get funny about spoilers, I was told.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, die by the crotch. I mean, just attacking Smo in the crotch seemed very effective. As long as you don't spend too much time in his crotch, you have to get out of there before it all gets a bit too much. Pill, good job, Pill. I hope I get a turn. No, that's Brion. I hope. See, there you go. I hope I get a turn too. I don't know if I can answer any of these auto responses. So
I hope so too, because you do hope so too.
You hope so, right?
Yeah.
You at least hope so. Can you not have hope, Danny?
You are putting me into a difficult position here, boys.
You can hope for these things. It's not promising anything. It's hoping.
Oh, you're a disgusting person, right?
Hey,
Mike, great job.
personally, I feel satisfied now that you've done that. So thank you, Danny. I feel good.
El Mono Mike says, great job, Pill. I loved the response you gave, Danny. It was amusing to watch you. Glad you enjoyed. Oh, one of them is just a grin emoji. We could just go
Weird, creepy.
with the creepy grin emoji. JP, hey Danny, yes, you're done with Ornstein and Smough, but there are more bosses to come, and you could still do with knowing a few things that could have made this less of a saga. Given your current skill set, I think the majority that understand this game and its mechanics would agree that using the same loadout, this fight would have been in the bag a long time ago if you'd stopped doing the following same errors over and over.
Yeah, go in on him. Get him, Jay.
Well, I mean, I did reply to this one because some of this advice I've been told the exact opposite. So I just want to get your take on this.
Isn't that the conundrum?
So number one, and this is one of the things where I've had opposite advice on, you had a perfectly good shield. So why do you keep switching to two-handing the sword for minimal benefit, as every time you did this, you effectively had no shield to defend yourself, just the sword? Now, my counter-argument to that would be, I was flipping them quite efficiently, and I was told on many occasions, why are you not two-handing the sword? Because the amount of damage that it does is actually, and I noticed it myself, it's not insignificant. So I'm not sure if I agree with point number one. And I don't know what other people's... Well, I generally use the Grass Crest shield, but in this particular fight, I was using the Black Knight shield. I think, yeah, one of those.
Yeah, you should just do the grass and just keep it on your back, and then just two hand because you're using the claymore, right?
Yeah, so that's exact, but that's the exact opposite of what JP is saying.
Yeah, I still want him to come at you.
Well, I think what JP is saying is if you're going to use the shield that you were using, use the shield because that one doesn't do too much help.
I was definitely using that shield. I was flipping it quite efficiently. I thought at one point. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I thought I was doing.
Well, maybe it just took you a while to get there. I honestly, personally, I have only recently started using less of a shield, and it's made my gameplay a lot better. I do still feel like I'm safer using the shield, and I don't really always see that much of a benefit. When you two-hand a sword, you're not getting like double the damage, but you're taking 100% more damage from an attack that lands on you. So I don't know. I'm still torn, but I do like a lot of when I was playing that 24-hour stream, I was I was putting my shield on my back a lot more than I would have in the past, and it helped.
Fair enough. So that's number one. Number two is the one I agree with, which says, again, perfectly good shield, so why do you roll around the arena, sometimes constantly, draining stamina and missing iframes and taking damage almost every time when all you had to do was raise the shield to defend and let it absorb the hit? That's its job. That's why you carry it. And use your one-handed swing whenever within the reach of enemy. So that's kind of talking about point one, but I agree I was rolling when I shouldn't have been rolling.
Yeah, but and here's the argument against that is there's a lot of lightning, and unless your shield is absorbing the lightning, you're still taking quite a bit of damage from them.
The lightning, the shield wasn't that great against the lightning, I don't think, but I guess that's why I was then weaving in and out of the pillars. The pillars seem quite good at blocking the light. Yeah. So two, okay. Number three, this is one that I've had contradictory advice on as well. So it says, if you have to run or expose your back to the enemy, at least keep the camera facing them so you aren't just blindly taking damage and have a chance to dodge. Now, every time I try and do that, somebody shouts at me for trying to play with the camera. So, again, I'm not sure about that one. I don't know what people think, but...
I think that if you got good at doing that, that would be... helpful, but if you're struggling and the camera work is not helping you more, then it might be hurting you more than helping you. But if you can, with a high level of skill,
the camera, so just don't listen to him. You got to keep the camera on them so you know what they're doing.
Yeah, if you can keep it. But if you're as terrible as a camera as I am, it might not be helpful to try to keep them lined up behind you.
No, if you learned how to use the camera, it would 100% help you.
If it helps, Zach does confirm that I am bad at the camera.
I would think of it like, remember when you played GoldenEye 007 for the first time and you had to learn how to like strafe and shoot at the same time? Mm-hmm. It's the same kind of like mental skill set, and once you have it, like it'll just be second nature. But you should be working on it.
Okay. Fair enough then. And then number 4 seems contradictory to number 1, kind of. There was no need to be that paranoid and keep your shield up the amount you did. As a result, stamina recovery was slow. Ornstein is quick, but not that quick. I did not keep my eye on the old stamina. Anyway, that was my response to that. Good feedback, but some of it was a bit confusing to me because people had said the opposite. But it all makes more sense now. I've had it explained to me, so there we go. Kamikaze Ice says Danny gets stabbed by a spear. Danny, I take an arrow to the back. This is a man who needs serious help with his backwardsness. Well,
I'm sure that spears and arrows are the same word in Manchester. Is that?
Well, a spear has an arrow on the end of it, I guess. An arrow is just a point, right?
Wait, are you guys by the sea?
No, we're not by the sea, really.
But yeah, I agree with you. But most arrows have a spear on them. Even when you use a bow and arrow, the arrow is on the tip of a spear. Can we agree on that?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like when you grab that arrow that you shot from the bow and arrow and use it like a spear, it's a spear then, right?
But you'd look pretty ridiculous coming at somebody with using an arrow as a spear. At least I do whenever I try.
It would still be an arrow.
Apparently, this is a crazy conversation. We should move on. Zach Ross should just draw the Danny versus Ornstein and Smaug fight. Well, I think more artwork is required. There could be a series in that. It'd be like the opposite of Bob Ross, really, though. Just like really angry instead of chill, and just like smashing the brush.
I have to make an apology. Apparently, Zach has made that by the sea joke before. So I apologize for.
Yeah, is that because there's a film called Manchester by the Sea or something? Is that where that comes from? Yeah, yeah. I don't understand why that film was named the way it was.
Well, I think what it is that there is this small town in the movie that's by the sea, and they're like. Kind of like it's like what if Manchester was by the sea? It has all the same feeling as Manchester. But this one's by the sea.
It's a town in Massachusetts called Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, which is New England. So they're saying that this is like Little Manchester, but it's by the sea.
and maybe this will blow your mind. It's in Essex County.
I don't know where that is. Oh, Essex County in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But Essex is also, a place in England.
That's even more so part of my argument.
I know, it's funny that all the places in New England are named after places in England, I guess.
Yeah, it's terrible. Do you guys have a Boston?
We do.
No, you don't. You guys have a Boston?
I mean, it surprised me as well, but apparently we do.
Wow. Well, if you go to Venice, Italy, all of the Venice canals and like all of the streets over here are named after the same streets that are in Venice, Italy. Because it's supposed to be like, Venice by the sea.
There we go. Boston, Lincolnshire.
Yeah. Ooh, it's
Boston.
got a big old tower.
Boston, it does have a big town. Boston is a market town with a port on the east coast of England in Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
About 100 miles north of London.
Is Lincolnshire like a state?
It's, we call them counties, but yeah, kind of.
Oh, your counties are states?
Well, England is the state because, we're not that big.
Oh, because
and then,
the UK.
Yeah, I guess. So I suppose the states you could call England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and then the counties would be the counties, and then the towns and cities. If that helps, I guess that's the best way of scaling it.
I actually looked this up yesterday because we were having an argument about the population of England or Australia, and which one do you think has a bigger population? Keep in mind that England is the size of Alabama.
I mean, I'd probably.
Well, how big is Australia? Don't just give me the size of one place.
The only reason, I mean,
Australia is huge.
Australia is a huge place, but I would also think, and I don't know the answer, but I would almost think that a lot of Australia is probably uninhabited or uninhabitable.
Yes, that's correct.
So therefore, I probably think
something
England
like 95% of the population or something lives on the coast in Australia.
Yeah. So I'd probably say England probably has the bigger population.
But by how much? How many people do you think there are in England?
I know that's 73 more people in England.
Not the UK, just in England.
Well, I think the population of England is roughly about 6 billion, but I might be wrong.
Of England? You think there's 6 billion people in England?
No. 600 million.
You think there's 600 million people in England?
6 million. 5 million.
Danny had much more life than I thought.
Grossly overestimated the power and influence of England.
5 million people.
Number.
Go on.
I'm looking it up to give you the exact because it's.
Is there a 6? Is there a 6 in it?
There is not a 6. So in 2018, the population was 55.98 billion. You said 6 billion.
I know, 60 million. If you round up.
There's only 7.753 billion people on the Earth.
What's the?
You thought 6 billion of them lived in England.
Well, I've never, I've never counted myself, so I wasn't sure.
I met a couple guys from London. I think it was on Friday, and I was hanging out with another guy that had been to London, and they were talking about all the places that they'd been in London. And they asked me if I had ever been to London, and I said, "Well, I had my friend from Manchester show me around London in Watch Dogs Legion," and their response to me was, "I've played Grand Theft Auto 5, so I've also gotten a pretty good understanding of LA." And I said, that's very different. Like LA is and they were trying to say that their experience in LA was the same as mine in London.
I mean, I would say in fairness, your experience of London in Watch Dogs Legion is not necessarily equivalent to actually going to London. I mean,
okay, I agree with you there, but can we both agree it's better than their experience of going to LA?
No, I would probably say that GTA is probably more accurate.
Oh, well, no. I mean, I will give Ubisoft a lot of credit for the map in Watch Dogs Legion. It's ridiculously accurate. Like, it's... Yeah, I mean, I'll give them that much. But I still don't think it's as good as actually being there. I mean...
Same thing.
But apparently, according to what you said last week about Venice Beach and whatever, apparently
It's
GTA
pretty
5
close, but it's not
pretty
exact.
accurate. Well, yeah. It's scaled down a little bit, but it's
called like Vespucci. Like when you play Watch Dogs Legion, you're walking into the pub that Danny always goes to, and the people in there are his friends, and they all know his name.
Yeah,
when you go to Vespucci Beach, those aren't real places. I mean, those are.
No, you've stretched the truth a little bit there. That's not quite.
Sometimes you have to make a point.
Okay.
We've strayed a little bit, but is anyone interested in the population of Australia?
Oh yeah, 7
million.
7 total. 7 million? 7 billion.
7 total.
7 total. Okay.
I know at least 6 of them.
James?
I would say the population of Australia is 160 million.
Wow. No, there are, as of 2020, 25.69 million.
That's it.
But wait,
Yeah,
he already told you that England had a population of 50-something million, and he also confirmed that Australia's population was less. So why would you guess 3 times as high?
You haven't been paying attention, Danny. A human's attention span is only 8 seconds. Okay? That was a long time ago.
Okay, you got me.
James.
You got me.
James, what do you think the population of California is?
Well, it's let's see. I'd say 6 million.
You think there's 6 million people in all of California?
All of California, okay, not LA. I'd say 25 million.
Okay, so the same size as Australia.
I guess so. Yeah,
I'm going to guess. I
guess that would be my guess.
Danny's going to go 150, still wildly.
Well, keep in mind that there's less than 400 million people in America.
Yeah, and 39.51 million of them live in California.
That sounds about right. A little, it's more than I said, but yeah, that doesn't sound like a shocking number to me.
Okay, and here's the last one of population that we'll do. Do you think California has a bigger or smaller population than Canada?
I'm going to say bigger because, again, Canada is just full of places you just cannot live.
Yeah, but they do have... Yeah, you're right. I think Danny's right. I think there's more people in California than in Canada, especially since California has the 5th largest economy in the world.
Yeah, that's right. Canada is about the same size. It's 37.59 million in all of Canada.
Yeah, and it's probably only in like 4 hotspots.
There's like more Californians in the world than Canadians.
Wow.
That's crazy to put it like that. If there was more Canadians than Californians, maybe the world would be a better place.
Probably.
Are Californians the problem?
It was a joke, but anyway.
No, but the Canadians really are something special. Like, every one of them makes the world a little bit better
than they deserve.
I don't think so.
All right,
I think they're a good batch.
Articles. Yeah, they were so good.
You've been collecting articles on how bad the Canadians are?
No,
he's got a dossier on Canada. He's got a dossier on Canada. He's coming for them.
I essentially have just a mental running total of all of the bad things that everybody's ever done.
You're like Santa Claus,
but the opposite.
Oh, the history of Canada is not good. But
no,
I'm just
the recent history of Canada is not good.
No, I
not
guess
just the old timey history. This is the thing that we always separate. Like, oh, it happened when everything was black and white. It was fine, but it's not that long ago.
But there goes my joke. So Kamikaze Ice. I don't know if I should sing this or comment or not. But it would go something along the lines of, Danny, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Danny?
Oh, Danny. That's really good.
And then Zach Ross and his happy little pill. I miss Bob Ross. Bob Ross brought a little bit of happiness to the world. And yeah, we should.
But what you don't know about him... No,
Here we go.
He's a good egg. He's a good egg. No shade. I'm
But he drove an SUV.
Yeah,
did you know that he was in the Air Force?
Oh, really?
Man.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I see Zach's Mickey Mouse, and all that enters my mind is Ethereal Snake's version of Mickey Mouse, Mickey's Descent into Madness video, where Mickey and Goofy are in Vietnam. Oh my. Kamikaze. So we have a blame Zach for his "You're just another customer" performance. GameFront, you think you're so special, don't you? That must be Zach yelling.
No, that's me. No, so basically,
wow.
Zach was saying that he was doing impressions of different Dark Souls characters, but I do an impression of the the lady who I attacked by mistake through the bars.
Yeah.
The shopkeeper near Blighttown.
The poison merchant.
Yeah. And so the impression is, you think you're so special, don't you? But you're just another customer. That's what she does when you attack her and she becomes hostile. Do you know, I absolved my sins quite a while ago and I've not been back there ever since. But I still intend to stab her through the abdomen when I next see her, though.
Oh my god, what kind of a monster are you?
Well, she shouted that at me so many times, I've just become a bit, bitter about it, to be honest.
All right, pop quiz, James. Is that amoral or immoral?
That's immoral.
It's immoral.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
She's not real. She's just an NPC.
What? Can we say that's amoral, right? He's throwing because they're NPCs. He's throwing all the morals away.
Well, it's an immoral act because most of the community would say that attacking NPCs is bad.
That's right. That's what I was going to say.
Zach points out that I should just slash her tires because that way I'll be the good guy.
Yes.
That's a good point. Kamikaze Ice says,
here's the problem. Now we're conflating property with human bodies. Well, I mean, it's an NPC, but essentially we're conflating property and human lives.
It would be better to slash the tires than to kill her if we're going down that path, right? If you got a beef with her, just slash her tires.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it for a good reason. I'm just doing it to slash her tires because I don't like her, I guess.
You sound like the guy that went into that parking structure.
Well, I mean, actually, some people did say, like, was it established that he was doing it for a reason? Or was he just somebody who liked to slash tires?
I'd be lying if I said I knew much more than the first I saw him. He looked like somebody that was experiencing homelessness. He had a knife out and he was shouting to no one in particular, "F all these cars." There's and just like talking to himself. And he went into and then he disappeared. And that was the last I personally saw of him. I didn't talk to him. I didn't ask that was all I saw.
Okay, so he could have just been high and thought the cars were coming for him or something, really. I mean,
yeah,
we don't know. Surprisingly, Mau, I think we're quite on topic this week. We've nearly finished. So, I think we're doing okay. Kamikaze Ice, 37 minutes, 43 seconds. Danny's going to do a magic trick that would fool Penn and Teller. Danny, do you think keeping near the old crotch is a good strategy? I found last time. Is this a question or a statement? Super Saiyan Smile does a Mario butt slam. Danny dies and his body is absorbed inside Small's booty hole.
Why?
Oh, that's quite a picture you've painted there.
That reminds me of now let's keep going.
Yeah, you're right.
No, you can't start and not finish.
It was just a really gross thing that I read about where somebody had been essentially couch-ridden from obesity, and they had been sitting on the same couch for so long that their body kind of absorbed into it a little bit.
Oh, I heard that. Is that real or is that an urban legend?
I don't know. I don't know.
I've heard of that too, though.
Yeah.
That can't be real. I mean,
I'm looking it up, but Zorb's couch.
Kamikaze Ice says, jokingly, I imagine there would be a seizure warning for this video of the controller overlay with all the rolling going on. So satisfying to see this comment. Okay. Yep, the B button did get spammed. Backseat Gaming Studios. Finally, lol, JK. To tell you the truth, I'm replaying to Dark Souls 1. I'm replaying Dark Souls 1 again. You got me back into it. Oh, that's good. I feel like I've done some good with this playthrough then, if that's the case. The Darkest Dragon says that by the power of the Lord Vessel, we can officially welcome you to the game of Dark Souls. Now about the Ring of Favor and Protection. You cannot hover over it and take it off. It will destroy the ring for good, and there is no way to get it back, so be careful with your buttons you select from here forth. You can get it back next play cycle if you decide to do a new game plus, or move on to the better game of Dark Souls 2. That's a controversial ending to that comment. And then, yeah, so is that true? You can't hover over the Ring of Favor or it'll explode.
I have no idea. That sounds crazy.
I mean, he says to float or be suspended over someone or something. I don't know what that follow-up comment means, to be honest. But yeah, apparently.
Well, what it's saying is you cannot hover over it and take it off. If you take it off, for sure it breaks.
Okay, I shouldn't. Yeah, well, if not taking it, but I mean, I thought he meant like if you just hover over it on the menu, it'll just.
Well, he does say and take it off because that's the pretty important part. Hovering over it, I guess, makes it so you might accidentally push the button.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Amazing, Jays. Excellent criticisms from Zach in this video. Danny, I hope you rewatched it. You're supposed to be my friend, Jace. Danny, I hope you rewatched The Last Attempt closely, at least once during editing. I can't promise that I did. The amount of stamina you waste on the double, triple rolls is getting... Yeah, I get the rolls was bad. I get that. When you have zero stamina in this game, there is a brief moment that you must wait before any regen will happen again. You were mashing the attack button because you had to wait to start the regen of stamina. The boss would often get a free hit on you because your attack animation wouldn't even begin until the stamina timeout period, and then that makes sense. Please read the warning in the description of the fat ring. You can lose it forever too if you do that. Yeah, so we've established that.
Yep,
I should
we
not
know that.
with the fat ring. That's a permanent ring. That's what she said. Spartan31590 says, nice, another member of the Souls fan club coming in for support. Love it. Great work, pal. Always. Great job, Danny. This is Alex Richards. Great job, Danny and Pelagius. Zach, you were good too. Thanks for listening.
Where are these coming from?
I do not know. It's weird. It doesn't do it for most of them, but then like 2 in a row have some shitty auto replies. It's ridiculous. Dark Mage. And now I can tell you smoke could be poisoned or toxic.
Oh, that's good knowledge for me. I might use that in the future because I've always struggled so much when I'm playing through this. This is like a fucking wall that I run into.
I did not know that. I don't know if I would have actually taken that strategy though.
Maybe not on the first time, but I see no reason to painfully struggle against them ever again now that I know that.
It's it's good.
I think I actually did do that the last time I beat him, but it was something that nobody told me outright until, well, I don't know. Somebody probably did tell me. My memory's not good.
Mikey B, for the second time in a week, I feel genuinely honored. Zach is literally taking notes at the beginning of this video. Yes.
He does. He always keeps a little notebook.
He does. He's good like that. I'd never seen what these notes actually say. And they could actually be anything from a Taco Bell order to just dirty drawings that he makes. I don't know.
He's just writing down cuss words so he doesn't say as many.
That could be it. That could be it.
That's funny.
Amazing Jays, congrats on the long-awaited victory, Danny. You finished this fight in 292 deaths. That's ahead of James, who finished it in 330 deaths, but it's not an exact apples-to-apples comparison, since he went out and cleared at least one other boss while he was stuck on these guys. Speaking of which, ask Zach to take you to the Undead Asylum soon, otherwise the villain there may not pose much of a challenge if you get any stronger. That enemy is known to elicit moments of coffee throwing, and I'd hate for you to miss others, or to miss yours.
Nice.
I mean, it's not a competition, but just out of curiosity, I'd like to know who died more to Ornstein and Smo.
How bad? Are you willing to go back and count?
No.
Okay.
But I'm curious. I'm more curious. I really want to see how close our death count is at the end. Because it seems like we're pretty much on par. I like that. In fact, I hope you beat it in 499 deaths, Danny.
Oh, now Zach is writing those same curse words into the chat.
Oh my god!
You even dropped a C-bomb, a couple of C-bombs, and a poopy. Sad.
Oh, he needs to have his outlet somewhere, I guess. The Dark Genius, I'm amused by that one guy mentioning that starting Dark Souls 2 is a way to get the fat ring back, since that ring isn't even in that game. Never mind. Maybe they got confused. Is it in the third game? Maybe that's what they meant. Anyway. Well, that's it for this week. I'm afraid. We're all commented out. Mau Mau's getting the Lysol to clean out Zach's mouth. Right. I mean, is there any other business? Otherwise, I call this meeting to adjournment. I don't.
Yeah, I think we've done it all. Everything else.
Oh my god, there's something crazy going on outside. I gotta probably wrap this.
Right, we're off. Bye, everybody.
All right.